Hi everyone. In this video I just wanted to talk about using white in your character coloring processes. Sometimes using pure white can cause issues depending on the kinds of software and the types of file formats that are being used in a production. So occasionally you might find that rather than using pure white, what you would want to do is use an almost white color, like a very, very pale gray. So I just wanted to sort of touch on that a little bit. That is something that comes up now and then. So for the teeth on this character, which normally I would color white, or I would intend to be white, what I would do is actually use something that's not quite white. So I'm going to create a new layer inside my layer panel here. And I'm going to call this white fill, even though I'm not going to use white. So this might be for your character's eyes, it might be for the teeth on your character, or it could be literally just, you know, the character's white itself, or has white sections of costume or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my polygonal lasso to create selections around the teeth. Now, because these teeth are quite small and I can see them both on the page, when I've selected my first tooth, I'm then going to hold Shift down, and what that does is it gives me this little plus on my selection, and I'm going to click over here on the other tooth and it will add to the selection like that. So now I've got both teeth selected at the same time. Then what I'm going to do is open up my swatches panel. Once again, if you don't have your swatches panel active, you can come up to Window and look for swatches just here. Now this swatch panel is very different to older versions of Photoshop. So if you're using an older version of Photoshop, it might not have these categories. They've sort of categorized these. I'm still trying to get used to them myself because I tend to use the more old school Photoshop for a lot of my stuff. So what we're going to do is pop into this grayscale group just here. And I'm going to use the second from white, which is a 10% grey. So I'm just going to select that as my main colour, and then I'm going to fill my teeth on my white fill layer. So Option or Alt backspace, there we go. And that's what I would use. Now if you like, you could actually go in and adjust that colour so it's a little bit brighter if you wanted. So if I click on my foreground color, okay, what I can do here is just drag this value up a little bit so that it's not quite up in the corner, but it's a little higher up than it is. So just bring it up like that a little bit, like that, and then I can use that. So that's even closer to white. You could also bring down the this hue selector and drop it down into sort of like the yellow, into the yellow spectrum. So that's going to give you a slightly creamy color to your white. So I'll just hit OK. Now if I want to go over the fill that I've already done in this layer, now keeping in mind that at the moment it's only those teeth in this layer, what I can do is move across the layer thumbnail just here, hold down Command or Control so I get this little selection icon on the cursor, and then click with the mouse button, and what that does is it selects all the pixels in that layer. If I had a whole load of other things in here that I didn't necessarily want to change the color of, I would probably have to use the magic wand tool to select those two teeth by clicking on them. But that's a quick method if you need to select everything in the layer. Now that that's done, I can just use my fill command again, and it'll actually fill over the top of the color that was in those two teeth selections. So now I've got I'm a little bit closer to white than I was. So now I've got those white teeth in there. Now if I turn off my background layer for a second, you can see that those teeth are actually filled like that. Okay, that's it for this little sort of hints and tips video. I'll see you in the next video.